Welcome back to the Polishing Podcast. This is your host, Nico, otherwise known as Nico All Powerful. Also joined by my new co-host,
Hi.
Allie.
Oh, was I supposed to say my name?
No.
Or was that a dramatic pause?
That was a dramatic pause.
Oh,
Obviously.
okay. Oh.
But yeah, this is Allie.
Hi.
She's my wife.
My wife.
You do that every single time.
Every single time because it's funny every single time.
But yeah, so this is officially like season 2 of the Polishing Podcast because if you're listening to the audio only, you couldn't see that she held up 2 of her fingers. Video podcast available on Patreon, a $5 tier.
Sign up for that. You should do it.
But yeah, so I would count the little interim where I was doing the podcast by myself as basically, I don't know, like the weird in between period. Yeah. I don't know what to call that for like a TV show.
Early and mid 2000s when like TV shows would be cool, and on their off season they would release like webisodes for a while. No. There was like 2 or 3 years where like every show did that shit. And I was like, so y'all just have no vacation? Like, let me put that down. Or sometimes they would be, sometimes it would be, there we go. Like random other characters. Mm-hmm. So it would be like people who weren't even on the show. Oh, okay. But you needed to be watching the webisodes. Like, I know Heroes did that. That shit was weird. I never watched the webisodes, and then they would make reference to them in the regular series, and I'd be like,
weird. No, the closest thing I ever got to that was filler seasons in anime. Because
I have no idea what that even is. So
filler is when the anime is being brought, like the anime is actually being developed so quickly, and the story, the manga is being published at the same time that the anime catches up, and then they're like, okay, wait, well, what do we don't know what the next story beats are. Right. So then they go and they have to make an entire season of nothing that doesn't adhere to the actual core plot. Huh. So, yeah, there's a whole lists online of, like, if you're watching any of the popular shows that are like, here's all the shit you don't need to watch. And some of them are like 100 episodes of a show that you're just like, nope. Yeah.
That is why wouldn't they just wait?
Because they got money to make.
So I guess that's fair.
I mean, if the series is popular, they're like, we want to make more of the show.
We want the money.
Yeah. So there's there's a re-edit of Dragon Ball Z called Dragon Ball Z Kai that's literally everything without the filler in it. It just cuts out all of the filler. Wow. And it's an official release of the show that cuts out all filler.
So I wonder what would Supernatural be without any filler?
It would be an episode long. It would be one episode. It would just be
like 1 second from each episode, however long that is.
Like, that's still how many seasons?
13 seasons?
13, like what, 20 something episode seasons?
Not as many as Grey's Anatomy, I want it noted, but
that's fine. But like how many seconds is that?
I have absolutely no idea.
What's 20 times? That's your phone.
How many total hours have human beings endured the torture that is Supernatural?
So let's just say 24 episodes, because that's like, how many does Arrow get?
Sometimes, well, it depends on the season. Sometimes it'll be like 23 or 22 or 24, I think.
Let's just go with the high number, because it's Supernatural. Times 13. It's still 5 minutes of a show. It's 312 seconds.
That's incredible.
That's fucking wild. You said 1 second.
1 second.
That's still 5 minutes. And it would mostly be
those 2 white men blinking at each other. The majority of those seconds would just be like one white man doing this.
That's wild.
And the other white man doing this.
That's completely garbage and crazy. I don't hate the show.
I managed to get through a season and a half. And I really don't know how. I must have been just falling asleep, because I would watch like 5 or 6 episodes and remember nothing. Nothing happens in that show. They're fighting demons. They're supposed to be these 2 hunky dudes, though I think they're only okay. Well, but
they're like CW pretty.
Yeah.
Which isn't that
I don't
pretty.
know, because I've seen other CW shows where they have legitimately pretty people. Riverdale, that whole cast is beautiful. Even Archie.
That's all they got going for it.
I mean, that's fair.
You've never had the thrill of high school football.
No, the thrill.
The highs and lows.
The epic highs and lows of high school football. Listen.
It's the worst.
If you have never watched Riverdale.
I want everybody to know right now, it's the fucking worst.
It is the best show ever created.
It is fucking worst.
It is artistic cinema. Every film student should be required to watch every season of Riverdale. I think I can say that with some
worst.
authority. There's an incredible scene that you should watch because I'm not going to do it justice, but I'm going to try just because it's entertaining as hell. Where Archie, as in Archie Comics, but there's like an actual like graphic novel comic book thing where his character actually does things, but thinking originally supposed to be Archie from like the 50s. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Archie goes to juvie, which does not. It's garbage. Which like doesn't make any sense. He goes to juvie for murder, even though he's 17. Like that's not real. Anyway, so he goes to juvie for murder.
Well, he's a white kid. He wouldn't get tried as an adult.
Right. Well, he just would never get arrested at all because he shot a poor kid in the woods. He's a rich white kid. He shot a poor kid in the woods. Nobody ever was going to touch him. That's, I mean,
when a drug lord is coming after you.
the only Latino male in the entire show
is a drug lord.
Can you believe? Okay.
I can because it's a fucking comic made from the 50s.
It's so good. Okay, so
it's rife with stereotypes.
So Archie ends up in juvie for not murdering someone. He's accused by the local drug lord of murdering someone, basically. So he goes to juvie, and there's all these other hardened criminals, even though they're all in juvie. So like, how hardened can they be? And there's a whole scene where like all the cheerleaders show up to the prison and start doing a cheer through the fence.
What is this, a porno?
Yeah, it got really weird. I was like, titties are going to be out any second. Like,
they're going to be fucking through the fence.
Like, I mean, and it was like one of those big chain link things, so they theoretically could. Anyway, and there's this one dude from like a rival portion of the juvie with all white kids, and
well, there's that one black kid who's really good at fighting, remember?
Well, yeah, and then he dies.
Does he die?
He dies in the first 5 minutes of being on screen.
Wait, what? No,
yeah,
am I talking?
Dies.
Wait, am I talking about the guy who lets Archie escape?
Yes.
How does he die?
Well,
in
he
the first
comes
5
back,
minutes?
but he dies in the first 5 minutes, and then people think he's dead until that episode where he helps him escape.
Oh, okay.
It's horrifying. But yeah, so there's a rival juvie gang dude who's like, no, man, screw you. We don't want to do anything in our yard time. We just want to fight each other. And it's like really, really, really gay. And Archie's like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm the best because that's what I do. And the dude is like, whatever, you're like spoiled. Like I got arrested for drugs or for possession with intent to sell when I was like in the 4th grade, and I had to drop out to help my nana or something like that.
That's something like that.
It's like some incredibly weird bullshit.
It's garbage.
And Archie with a straight ass face, KJ Appa, deserves a fucking Oscar.
No, he doesn't.
He deserves an Oscar for keeping a straight fucking face.
Since this is going on Patreon, I don't know that I have to worry about copyright stuff. I can put the scene in the video. So if you guys are wondering whether or not it's a good idea to have the $5 ready for the Patreon video podcast, well,
it's worth it, y'all.
You'll get to watch this god awful,
so and also laugh at how poorly I'm retelling it. But anyway, you interrupted me at the peak moment.
That's fine.
So you're like, there's no narrative tension here. It all sucks. Okay, so Archie with a straight face because KJ Appa is a god among men. Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert Downey Jr., anyway, I'm
talking about Leo right now.
Okay.
Because of his fucking Oscar win, all hell broke loose.
I know. It really unleashed.
It's the 7th seal.
We're now in the darkest timeline because of Leonardo DiCaprio. Anyway, so Archie's like, well, if you dropped out of school in the 4th grade, then you have missed the thrills and something else.
I think it is epic highs and lows.
And the epic highs and lows of high school football.
It's so fucking stupid.
Dead ass. And then they proceed to play a football game uniting the rival gangs in juvie. And then there are suddenly riot police in the prison, and they beat the boys when the cheerleaders show up and the boys get all horny. It's really weird.
This reminds me a lot of the classic Adam Sandler film, The Longest Yard.
It was literally a Longest Yard episode. I think the episode title might even be a pun on that.
Oh my god, what is it? The highest feet? Like what the fuck?
I don't know. It's so good.
Everything, the lengthiest foot.
Everything about that show is perfect.
Garbage.
And I would change.
I love that we said it at the same time.
The episode where what's her face is like, I have the serial killer gene. It is.
I mean, it's in the same universe as Sabrina the Teenage Witch,
yes,
so.
But it's like the CW version that also has no mystical, magical anything. So
look,
to fill that
Batman
time,
came to Riverdale at some point, so that they crossed over. Yeah,
they crossed over.
I mean, Archie was hunted by the Predator.
My little gay heart.
Like the Predator.
The Predator?
Yeah, wrist blades, laser mounted, shoulder mounted laser cannon.
They're also
he murders it's really violent. He murders the shit out of somebody while
that's Riverdale is not fucking around. They are using
Josie and somebody else watch.
Oh, Josie, she's sweet.
And they're like, what the fuck? Because obviously
these children are routinely traumatized. Like, let me tell you, there's some serious shit going down in Riverdale.
Yeah. Anyway, are you gonna pop a cold one?
Beer number 2.
No, you better put that up towards the microphone and.
I need to get.
You gotta get the.
This is ASMR.
Well, no, it's just popping. You gotta crack a cold one with the boys.
Can you open it? You do it. Because my nails they keep breaking, and I'm gonna get them done tomorrow, and I don't want them all broken.
I don't have nails. Shit. Wait, here. There we go.
Oh, that's much better. Oh. Nice.
There we go.
That's the sound of a crisp, gluten-free beer.
She's got an allergy.
Yeah.
Don't judge.
I really can't eat gluten. It makes my tummy hurt.
But yeah, we didn't do a proper intro because you went straight into that garbage show, Riverdale.
It is perfection.
It is an actual dumpster fire.
I love it. Actual dumpster fires are all that cinema is. So,
according to Martin Scorsese, that's true.
Well, according to Martin Scorsese's films are good and all others are not good. Also,
I don't know that he actually said that.
No, but he basically shat on MCU for being part of Disney and also for being concerned with profit. And I'm like,
you ain't concerned with profit, you multi-million-dollar son of a bitch. Anyway,
I'm like, no, Martin. No, sir.
Excuse me, Martin.
You will not throw stones while you.
My friend Martin, I think not.
I was like, no, we will not.
But
we will not.
Welcome to the Polishing Podcast Season 2.
Welcome.
There, obviously, as we've mentioned a couple times, if you follow the podcast on Patreon, by the time this goes up, the $5 tier will be updated, and there's a video podcast where you can see us gesture and all sorts of stuff.
And drink the alcohol.
Not me. I got a whole thing of water here.
He is healthy and responsible. I am not.
Head for scale. It's a big water bottle.
He drinks a lot of those every day. He's very well hydrated.
Maybe 3 if I'm paying attention.
Do you know? I have not. I'm not even going to tell you how much water I've had today.
Is it less than a can of beer? Wait, I really like the idea of measuring water by cans of beer.
Actually, when I was at a club in LA with Chelsea and Tiffany,
that's so funny.
This dude went up to the bar and was like, "I want some water." Instead of just giving him a glass of water,
did they give him a can of beer?
They gave him a can of water, and it was like a beer can, but it was all silver, and it just said "water." Big capital letters.
Well, that's better than a bottle.
Yeah, I mean, because it's recyclable, and that's what I told him. But he was clearly on a lot of drugs, so I don't think he really followed what I was saying. And that's one weird thing about being in LA is that people are casually on a lot of drugs sometimes, and they just go into the public and they
think they can just hang out.
I mean, and he wasn't rude or anything, but he just obviously had no idea what I was saying.
Well, that's rude.
So
you're
was
wrong.
Really weird. In fact, Shelby was she's in LA.
Beb.
Yes.
I haven't finished the intro.
Shit. Fuck. You gotta stop me. Okay.
That's why I stopped you.
I'm back and I'm drinking.
But yeah, this is the Polishing Podcast. We're about 13 minutes into it at this point.
Listen, I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine. Apology accepted. This is what marriage looks like. Get used to it.
This is what peak male performance looks like. You're beautiful. Look.
I look like a thumb if you're listening on the audio portion. But
I feel like most humans look like thumbs.
I mean, specifically when you do this. I can't do it because my chair.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ugh.
Sexy. But yeah, it's the Polishing Podcast. You can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, YouTube, because it automatically goes to YouTube. You can only listen to it on YouTube. It is not being uploaded in video format there because YouTube sucks. We got some YouTube stuff to talk about, actually. There's a thing they've implemented that is good and weird. I don't know how to feel about it. It doesn't make a lot of sense and contradicts something that they have said before. And in fact, a lot of people are like, wait, what? But we'll get into that in a little bit.
Sounds good.
On top of that, what else? Patreon.com/polishing podcast. And yeah, if you do the $5 tier, you get to watch us as well as listen to us, which I feel like is a little nice bonus. And as long as I remember to actually edit parts of stuff in and do little fun things with it, it'll be cool. Yeah. Though, if you're thinking about, I was going to say, I'm thinking about how to do the video, if it should try to upload the audio and video at the same time. But that's not something I want to talk about during the podcast because that's business. Yeah. So I don't want to do that. But yeah. So I think that's everything. Twitter.com/Nico Powerful, NICCO POWERFUL. Twitch.tv/Nico All Powerful, NICCO ALLPOWERFUL. Streaming from 8 a.m. to at least noon Eastern. Is it daylight time now or standard? You don't know? You're a teacher. I thought you'd know things.
What? I teach English.
Yeah. Are we not talking about? We're not talking in English?
No.
What language is speaking? What language is this?
You really looked like you were doubtful for a second.
What language is this, ma'am? Can you tell me?
And now you're just feeling your oats, and I can't allow that. So
I can't do that on the video. We'd have to put the Patreon at 18+ if I feel my oats, and I don't want to do that.
18+?
Yeah.
I mean, you could feel your oats off camera.
I mean, I'm on camera.
No, but I mean, like, do your oats have to be on camera?
I mean, they kind of, like, if I scoot back a little more, they might be.
If you scoot back a little more, you could just choose not to do that.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. No, I mean, that's pocket, so my oats aren't far. They're not far.
Okay.
We're talking maybe 2 inches. And you got oats.
It's just all oats down there. It's just, but are they gluten-free oats?
No.
No, they're not. Why do they have gluten?
They gotta have gluten in them, Beth.
No, they don't.
They are full of gluten.
No.
Why do you think you feel sick?
Oh, no.
It's the baby. The baby's made of gluten.
It's 2 things I hate.
Babies and gluten?
Babies and gluten.
Well, I guess I'm going to cancel that cake I was asking to get made. It's in the shape of a baby, and it was filled to the brim with gluten.
It's literally just gluten. Somehow the frosting is
gluten collagen. God.
Okay,
That's
have to
gross.
stop. We have to walk away from that.
What were you about to say about Shelby in LA or whatever? So Shelby's a friend of ours.
Yeah,
name drop.
She's a bomb. Shelby, if you're listening,
name drop.
I love you.
Humbleberg.
She will not be listening to this, but that's okay.
Wow, Shelby, you know what? I'm gonna tell you how I feel right now. You're real.
You better calm the fuck down, Mattis.
I didn't say it.
Yeah, but you implied it heavily enough that we may have to fight. I may have to roll some oats, if you know what I'm talking about.
Come on down and get Nico's oats.
Oats by Nico.
Nico's oats, but it's like Nico's. The new cereal sweeping the nation.
Oh my god, you would love a cereal named after you.
The picture's like me, like.
But it just has to be the blandest, whitest cereal on the earth.
Well, yeah, it's oats.
It's oats.
Look, I may eat honey bunches of oats, but it's got honey, and there's bunches.
The bunches don't add any flavor.
The reason they're clumped together is because of the honey.
Right. So, but you listed the bunches like they'd be.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got the honey in them. They're stuck together because of honey.
Okay, I don't eat such foodstuffs.
Why not? They're delicious.
I can't have most cereals because of the gluten.
Something else.
Because of the gluten. Yes. But God, I do not remember at all what I was gonna say about Shelby being in LA.
I don't know because you were talking about drugged up people.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
God.
Shelby,
is this a story?
Shelby was like, people really aren't subtle here about weed, and I was like, what? Because she's in LA for a conference.
It's been legal for.
Yeah, I know.
Ever there,
but
basically.
Remember, so Shelby comes from a very conservative.
There's so many white people. It's been legal forever.
I know, but Shelby comes from a very conservative family, And while she herself would be the opposite of a conservative if she were to describe herself, she does come from a sort of mildly sheltered existence, I feel like. So she was just like, yeah, it's just everywhere. It's just weed. And I was like, oh yeah, that's LA is just, they're just drugs.
Does Shelley not smoke weed?
No.
She does not partoke?
She does not partoke. I don't think it's her vibe. Well, I mean, and even if whatever. She did partoke, she would she would do that like privately. But like in LA, people really will just like smoke weed. Just like you'll pass a guy who just is fully holding a joint, and that's still like illegal. You can't just walk around with it. Like you can't walk around drinking a beer or whatever in most places. But like people do it. People like
I'm not gonna stop them.
Right. I mean, and like I can smell it. I know what it is. Like. You're not a danger to me because you're high. Like, it's not.
I really hope that shit ain't laced.
I mean, same. But if you can get it legally,
I was gonna say it'd be pretty hard to find it laced in LA at this point. Why would you
be sketchy about it? I mean, it is a little more expensive because of taxes, but you know, it's worth a higher guarantee of safety, I suppose.
Nah, fuck the government. Take risks.
I mean, like, yeah, but also no.
What, you never wanted to get high on PCP while you were smoking weed?
No, I have never desired such a thing.
You've never wanted to eat a teddy bear because you thought it was a cookie because of PCP?
This is a really specific example that you've developed here, and I'm really wondering what the reason behind that is. Oh, there's a potato downstairs.
She's not downstairs.
She's downstairs.
Doesn't make any sense. She's right there.
She licked me.
No.
She licked my finger. That was so cute. I love her. There she is.
You can't see her. Oh, you can. What do you know? Well, if you're watching the video portion, you can see Nem.
Look at her.
She's so cute.
She's so cute. She's like confused. Like, I'm on camera?
She doesn't know.
Wait. What? Oh, that's a good. Just notice that.
You can see her little ear.
This is all pudge and an ear.
Nice.
It's incredible.
We got distracted.
We got deeply distracted.
So cute.
Do you have any more introductory things to say?
I don't think so. I did all of the shilly things.
Okay. Did you have some things you wanted to talk about?
I mean, there's the YouTube stuff that's kind of contradictory to what they said before. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube is now introducing a program where you have to talk about whether or not you're, you claim whether or not your videos are suitable for children or not, which is weird because originally, if your videos were not suitable for children, you couldn't have ads on them because a lot of companies got really scared because they were like, oh, we don't want our ads to be on videos of dead bodies, really racist views. Right. Even if a company CEO is a racist, he doesn't want anybody to know about it, so people still buy his stuff. Right. Those kinds of things. So like a lot of ad companies were pulling out of YouTube because they were like, well, you can't guarantee that shit isn't weird on here. Yeah. So YouTube obviously responded and going, well, we're going to fix that. So their idea apparently is to put this in place. The thing is, apparently if you say your videos are suitable for children, it could mess up your ads anyway. Their email is really weirdly worded.
And this is why English majors are important to hire.
Well, it just does. It
because
seems
we know
like
how to read and write things.
Yeah, like the first thing, I got it because I have a YouTube channel that I don't really do anything with anymore. But they noticed that I was partnered at one point. Excuse me, and they were saying like, if you say your videos either contain children or are suitable for children, we could limit your comment section, limit the kind of ads you get, like, and stuff like that. And they're like, we're going to start more aggressive, but we'll do other things in the future. And it's like, da-da-da-da. And it's just a really weird thing. Like, it's almost like if you go, oh, I'm not suitable for children, well, then, you're going to lose out on ads. Or you say you are suitable for children, well, you're going to lose out on ads. And it's like, well, then what the hell?
Like YouTube somehow screwing creators.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
While still getting money somehow. Like,
I mean, it's
that
Google.
Sounds like YouTube's business model. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's weird. Yeah. I guess I have to go through and claim that all my videos aren't suitable for children because I swear a lot. Yeah. Because
it would seem like maybe we could just monitor children's activity online as like parents and guardians and trusted adults, and then maybe also just talk to children about what's appropriate and what's not appropriate?
I mean, yeah.
This seems like a lot of work.
I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
That's good to know.
I don't have any secret children that we don't know about.
I mean, yeah. That would be a weird time to bring it up is right now.
Right now. That would be incredible entertainment.
I guess.
That sounds like some shit out of Riverdale. So
oh my God.
I think we know that you saying that it's trash has been a cover story this whole time, and you're obviously a staff writer for Riverdale.
Yeah, right. If I was making that kind of money, do you think I would have been like, oh, I'm going to go back to work at Target?
I don't know. You write for Riverdale, so anything's possible.
No. Look, if
I'm going to look for someone on the writing staff whose name is like an anagram for your name.
That doesn't. Why?
Because
it's not going to be a thing. It
could be your secret name.
It's not, but it's not.
Secret staff writer.
If I had that money, I would not have gone back to Target. I would have been like, oh, so I was hiding.
How do I know you really went back to Target?
Because my shins still hurt.
How do I know that your shins still hurt?
Because I can't run.
How do I know that you can't run?
Because, because every time I try, I go, ow, this fucking hurts.
I don't know. Sounds like some science data that I can't prove.
Anyway. If you're not watching the video, you're really missing out.
We are really missing out. We're really doing well on this. I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I don't really understand what's happening there at all. So strange.
That is very strange.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really know a lot. Google is putting out their. Have you heard about the Google like console, quote unquote, at all?
No.
It's a streaming service called Stadia or Stadia. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's coming out either next week or something, but it's supposed to hook into your Chrome, like your Google Chrome thing, and it's because it's literally streaming a video game over the internet through servers and stuff, so you don't actually play it off of like a computer or whatever. It's being sent to you through data. That's coming out, and there's like 10, 12 games or something at launch, and people apparently like Google's CEO or someone said today like, oh yeah, developers are afraid to do anything like make games for us because like make games specifically to be used on Stadia or Stadia, whatever, because they don't know that they don't feel confident that we're going to support it. And I was like, well, yeah, you have a really bad reputation of going, we're going to do this and then abandoning it.
Yeah.
Look at Google Fiber. That was set up to like push like cable companies across the country to offer fiber optic lines, and then you guys went nah and stopped. Like they're not expanding fiber anymore. They're just going to keep up with the existing lines.
That had to do a lot with how powerful
it's Google.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they have leverage in every market and over every politician.
It's just wild that like even I don't know. It's like that particular thing is obviously like I'm in the internet, so like fast internet's a big deal to me.
Yeah.
But like they've also got Google Glass, which they were like, didn't really meet our expectation. We're gonna stop doing that.
Well, actually, I was listening to one of those little podcasts that Spotify was recommending me. Because
what do they say about Google Glass?
They were talking that like apparently it's really happening and it's like coming, like it's in development.
Yeah, but isn't it called something else now?
I don't know, but it's glasses that are enhanced reality. So it's Google Glass.
But is it?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
They may have rebranded it, but it's the same product.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the thing. Another person was talking about how they like to not cancel, but like stop updating or supporting something, and then like absorbing it into something else that's not as good as their initial thing because they absorbed kind of something and put it into something else. So like the idea that a bunch of developers are like, yeah, we don't really trust you guys to develop for you.
I was thinking more along the lines of all the data stealing that they do.
I mean,
like now they have a bunch of people's medical data.
Maybe. I mean, as far as I know. This is the Google CEO saying stuff about what people were talking about to them. They're not going to go, yeah, they're worried that we're going to steal their stuff. Because why would they say that?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything's a press release.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's calculated to have them appear a certain way for reasons.
But yeah, so that's a thing. I'm not excited for it. They're talking about developing a technology to predict what button you're going to press because of lag, because you're downloading a game while also uploading your input in the game at the same time. Yeah, it's going to take a crazy amount of bandwidth to play these games, and it's weird that Google's pushing it so hard when the American internet infrastructure isn't up to standard at all for the 21st century.
Well, maybe they're not as concerned with American markets.
But that doesn't, like, there's, I mean, I get why you might say that, but like Google also is restricted in a lot of places. So it's like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, especially since, like I said, America's internet's not, there's the whole like small rural villages in England that have like better internet than some urban centers in America.
Yeah, I believe that.
It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I would say write your politician if you live in an area with shitty internet, but Comcast probably has them in your pocket, so you're SOL.
You should like vote and also contact your local politicians. You should do that.
Yeah, but just know you might be kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But you should try. You never know.
Yeah, I mean,
you and a bunch of angry people can, make a politician worried about getting reelected, so much so that they don't want Comcast money. But only if you're like a lot of people and you complain really loudly.
Yeah.
So just know that.
Yeah, you got to get a lot of people angry.
Yeah.
Nothing happens unless people are angry.
These are facts. Anger is a very useful emotion. You good, bro?
Yeah, I just noticed that your thing is shorter. Because mine's covering the top of the microphone and yours isn't.
Huh.
That's weird.
It's appropriate because I am shorter.
It's kind of wild to look at the camera and see, like, even sitting, you're, like, shorter than me.
I am a small. Very, very small.
I didn't realize that I was taller in just waist to head ratio.
Would you think you were almost a foot taller just in your legs?
I could be.
Do you think your legs are a foot longer than mine? That's a lot.
They might be.
I mean, they're longer, but
from what I'm seeing, it looks like from here to here, I'm a foot, and from down, probably also a foot.
That's because my spine isn't very straight because I have big titties. Okay.
Which I love very much.
That's what I thought. So I don't know why you're talking smack.
I didn't know I was.
You're trying to fight me.
No.
And I don't appreciate that.
Well, I mean, you would lose because I'm taller than you.
I have a low center of gravity, motherfucker.
Good luck hitting me when I can reach you from a whole 2 feet out.
You got those long ass arms, bro. I'm so jealous. I wish I could reach things.
I could just do this and you wouldn't be able to reach me.
Oh my god, it would be like
it's like those cartoons, yeah.
Because literally I can't. Like,
that's so funny.
Yeah, we are silly, but it's okay.
Oh man. Other than that, I don't know that I have a whole lot of specific stuff to talk about.
Okay.
We did, while you were watching New Girl, find out how small
okay.
micro penis
Wait,
is on.
I need to put a disclaimer on this. It's very important that we acknowledge that all bodies are perfectly fine as long as you're perfectly fine with your body, right? And I'm not here to shame anybody or make someone feel bad about themselves.
Unless you like feet and you're in my house.
Nico,
then we're going to kink shame you.
Nico does not appreciate people with foot fetishes. But
yeah,
as long as you don't...
She looked around.
She really likes to smell feet. And she loves the way they smell. And then she smells them more. She's a freak. Anyway.
So, wait. I got to clarify. Because, so if you've ever noticed a cat sniffing things and then it do this.
And they're like.
That's because they like the smell and are opening their mouth to try to get more of that smell.
More of the smell.
More of it. Nem does that to feet and feet-related things.
Feet to shoes all the time.
Like shoes people have worn a lot.
She loves socks. She's a freak.
So I shame her. Realistically, I don't actually care.
Strangers can visit our home and their feet will get sniffed. And they're like, what is happening with this cat? Because she's simultaneously so dainty because she's a cat, but also she's literally pressing her nostril.
Yeah, she really does press her nose.
She gets in there. and you're like, excuse me, ma'am. I'm like, ma'am, this is a Wendy's, ma'am. She just gets that nose in there.
She doesn't know what a Wendy's is. She's never been.
Like, she's intense. So she's the only one who should feel ashamed about really anything is because of her feet issues.
But honestly, I don't care if you like feet shit.
Right. Like, realistically, you're not.
If you want your dick just completely rubbed by feet, go crazy.
Just go crazy. Consenting adults should do whatever they want with their dicks and their feet.
If you know somebody who's like, oh, I got it, like my feet have my toes are double jointed, you're gonna love this.
Right.
Go crazy.
Go crazy.
Just don't step in any potato salad, please. Don't waste food. I don't know. People do that. People step in food.
Specifically potato salad.
I don't know. It's the squishy noises
You said
it makes.
Again, you offered specifics.
It's because there's a SpongeBob episode where he lands in potato salad when he's like falling and he's got his bare feet and they were like, we just made this yesterday. SpongeBob's weird.
Yeah. That I
see the trailer for the new movie?
Under no circumstances. I have no.
Keanu Reeves is going to be in it.
Keanu Reeves?
We could do a live. We could do a live reaction of you watching the SpongeBob trailer if you want.
Sure. I should preface this.
She hates SpongeBob.
I hate SpongeBob.
Oh, it's so funny.
I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's cute. I think it's annoying as fuck. And I'm glad that there's some wholesome content out there for the people who like it. But I hate SpongeBob so fucking much.
We just lost every Patreon.
I know. Like, they're all done. Like, hate me if you want. I understand. I know that I'm in the minority. I get it. I also thought Breaking Bad was boring. Okay, I am who I am. And
all right, you need to chill before we lose every bit of money I'm making right now.
I'm not saying that other people can't like it. I'm just saying I don't. And so I guess are we gonna watch the thing?
I mean, not yet. You were gonna mention something about micro penises.
Yeah. So listen, if you are in possession of a micro penis,
I'm sorry.
You should not feel ashamed of yourself. I just want you to know.
You shouldn't feel ashamed, but I'm sorry.
But you know who should feel ashamed? Every person who does not advocate for comprehensive sex ed in this country, because we should not be finding this out at the age of 27.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I should have known what that looked like way a long time ago.
And imagine if it had been discussed in school and there wasn't this weird fetish of ginormous penises in our culture, and then I wouldn't be so surprised by what a micro penis can actually look like. And there are apparently varying sizes, just like with any set of genitalia. To give you a good example
of what I thought it would be,
yeah.
Baby's hand.
That's what he thought, and he was saying
fist.
That as I was Googling it.
Baby's fist.
And I was like, I don't think
Closed.
A baby's fist is like a way to describe it. I think it's going to be smaller, but...
Baby's finger.
I was thinking like the distance from like one knuckle of my thumb. I'm thinking that's got to be it. And let me tell you, folks at home, Nem is here to offer us comfort in our time of need. No, let me tell you, micro.
Come on now.
Micro is... Micro is the word.
It's like she knows the camera's there.
I know. She's showing off her butthole. Cats are freaks, y'all.
She sniffs feet and shows everyone her asshole. It's ridiculous.
That's a lot. She's really going for it. I'm trying to... Here, you pet her face and maybe she'll chill out. Yeah, it was very small and we were both shocked.
We were shooketh. Oh, nope, she's going to your lap.
Here she comes.
Oh, Lord, she coming.
She's so cute. Hey, Potato.
Don't drink the beer, Potato.
No, I mean, it'd be hilarious if she drank the beer, but... Yes, hello. What is...
She's burrowing into your arm.
Is my arm for burrowing, honey? Yeah. That's what was happening. Anyway, so yeah, micro penises are...
They're something.
Very small. And I don't want to shame anybody or anything.
Yeah. No, this is like to be more serious about it. Yeah. It's not great.
Yeah, I mean, and our culture just like has this whole stigma that like, I don't know, like it's like normalizing the idea of like these monstrously huge penises.
Monster peens.
Exactly. Or like making everybody feel like if they're not this like wildly high standard that's not even that high because everybody's got their physical limits.
At least.
Like, I'm like... Why does it need to be the size? If I wanted to put this in my body, I would just put this in my body and I wouldn't bother with a penis. And I just don't. Everybody's like, they just fetishize this abnormally large size. And then, people shame anybody with penis because they always tell them that it's not of an adequate size and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's just really sad and horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel really bad. These people must experience a lot of frustration and shame and
it's true.
Vulnerability.
But I still, I through all the seriousness, I still couldn't. I was
not prepared.
Yeah, I couldn't steel myself for what I was about to say.
Sex ed really failed us.
Really failed. Well, we were from the South, so
right. So like, what sex ed?
Yeah,
they literally just told us that if we had to, for you guys, they basically gave you a blue ribbon and we're like, please fuck all the bitches. But
I didn't hear that.
For women, it was like, if you have sex, you will get an STD.
So it's just like
you will get pregnant. You
What's
will
that movie?
die.
What's that movie?
Like Mean Girls.
Yes.
Yeah. Your family will abandon you. The father of your child will abandon you. And also, Jesus is going to hate you.
Oh, also, New Girl. It's like, have you ever seen sex from the above? It's horrible. That's why God thinks it's a sin. No, she says, no wonder why God thinks it's a sin. It's so good. It's such a great line. All right.
New Girl has some real classics. Anyway, don't be ashamed of yourself, but also sex ed should be better in this country, and that's how I feel about that. Okay. SpongeBob.
So we're going to watch the SpongeBob trailer, and I don't know.
Y'all pray for me.
I don't know if I want it to be loud enough for the mics to pick up, because I don't know if that'll...
Oh, I got you.
Okay,
maybe
thanks.
They should just pick it up a little bit.
I'm just worried that it might get hit by a copyright thing on something.
If it's just in the background and you can't see it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that's a copyright violation.
Well, I mean, it's still somebody else's audio. I didn't create that.
I mean, you're crediting it and you're not claiming it's yours.
I never said I was going to credit it. I'm not going to put it in the comment section.
All right, well, then you do what you need to do.
I mean, just here.
Okay.
Oh, God, that's loud. So, for whatever reason, they're going with a CGI look.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
It's like a weird CGI, but also looks like their 2D art. I kind of like it, honestly.
No, this is what I see in my nightmares.
Really?
Aren't they supposed to be underground or underwater?
Yes, it doesn't. The rules of SpongeBob's whole like underwater thing doesn't make any sense. Also, Gary the snail is equated to a cat.
Yeah. Oh my God, he has a litter box.
Well, yeah. The worst. Oh, shit. Wait. Yeah, there's copyrighted music in the background because the people that make SpongeBob like 80s rock, like metal, like hair metal and stuff.
Of course they do.
It's well, that's the thing is like I think it's the first movie has SpongeBob do a rendition of Twisted Sisters, We're Not Gonna Take It or something.
Okay.
It's weird. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit more just to make sure the mics aren't picking it up because that for sure will get copyright something somewhere.
Okay.
Because the music producers of the 80s are huge buttholes. But yeah. There you go.
What in the fuck? What is Keanu Reeves doing?
Anything he wants.
Whatever the fuck he wants. He's reached the Samuel L. Jackson point in his career.
Also, they're at the lost city of Atlantic City.
It's in New Jersey. It's a lost city.
But that makes me wonder if it sunk underwater at some point for the context of the movie.
I mean, climate change will put most coastal cities underwater. So.
Is it Atlantic City a coastal city?
Yes.
That's
why
shit.
They can have gambling things there.
That's more concerning than I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of cities that are just straight up going to be underwater. Glug, glug.
No, I'm talking about in the context of a children's movie.
Right. I mean, the youth know.
Yeah, but not the youth that watch SpongeBob.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to know. Not those ones.
Oh, well. Yeah. They seem to know.
God, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's rough.
Let's not talk about that. I mentioned climate change and global warming entirely too many times while Trent was still a co-host. So we try to skip past that because people are like, "Hey, can we not?"
I'm trying to escape and feel some joy. We're here to bring you joy, but also to tell you.
No. I'm gonna cut that off right there. No.
Anyway.
So yeah,
that was
Keanu Reeves.
horrifying. I absolutely hate SpongeBob.
His name is Sage, and he's made of sage.
It's
so
never
it works
been funny
out.
one time. That's the dumbest. Keanu Reeves said that with his beautiful, beautiful mouth. He looked at that script and he was like, "I'm gonna act the fuck out of
that." That's exactly what he thought.
That's what he. I mean,
Where'd you go?
even Keanu Reeves, could only rescue so much.
I do appreciate that anytime a celebrity is put into a SpongeBob movie, which there are multiple now, they are a new character. They aren't taking the place of an existing character. Because did you see the Scooby-Doo movie trailer? It's called Scoob.
No, I also.
So it's the CGI movie as well. And apparently, you know who Matthew Lillard is, right? He played Shaggy in the live action movie. He's also been voicing Shaggy since he played him in the live action movie.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So he found out when the trailer dropped that he's not going to be Shaggy in the new Scooby-Doo CGI movie.
That's horrifying. Wait, how do we know that?
Because it's not him. It's not his voice. They already credited it to like.
No, but I mean, like, how did he find out when the trailer dropped?
Because he usually works with Warner Brothers and stuff when he does Scooby-Doo stuff.
Yeah.
And he didn't know about this project until the trailer came out, and he's like, "Why is that not me?"
Yikes.
The only person that they have voicing one of the characters that still voices them is the guy who usually voiced Fred and Scooby is only voicing Scooby in the movie. Zac Efron is voicing Fred.
Yeah.
It's like, you have voice actors.
Right.
Why?
Who've been doing great.
For years.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the guy who's done Scooby and Fred has been, like, voice acting for, like, 50 years.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's sad.
I don't know.
Get it together, Hollywood.
Yeah, but no, Matthew Lillard found out when the trailer dropped that, Hollywood be Hollywood. And
yeah, I mean, that's not a surprise,
Yeah.
unfortunately. That's really sad.
yeah. Though, wait, so while I brought that up because it was fresh on my mind, did you ever watch the movie with Brendan Fraser where he teams up with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck?
No, this sounds incredible. What is it called?
I don't remember.
Is it on Disney Plus? We're going to watch it right
Probably
now.
not, because it's a Warner Brothers thing. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
if they're
that's
Disney
true.
characters. I don't remember the name of the
love
movie.
Brendan Fraser.
He's great. We've talked about what's it called before? Doom Patrol.
Doom
If
Patrol.
you don't have a DC subscription, skip over Disney Plus and get that. Now, well, I can't really say that
No, porque no los dos.
because at some point it costs too much money to keep up with all these subscriptions.
That's true.
We're not going to advocate piracy. There we go. I almost said privacy. No, I will.
We don't advocate privacy.
Don't use a VPN.
Tell all your secrets to everyone you know.
Dox yourself on a regular basis.
Yourself. I mean, isn't that what like Facebook was for a good minute? We were all just like doxing ourselves forever.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of people put a lot of their personal business on the Book of Faces.
That's true.
So they were basically doxing themselves. You remember when it was still cool to tag your location literally everywhere you went?
No. Oh, it was literally just called Looney Tunes Back in Action.
It's incredible.
Not
we
my
are
first
going
guess.
to watch that film.
It's rated PG, made in 2003.
PG, risque.
Well, what? Isn't Space Jam PG?
And there are some risque scenes.
I mean,
there's Lola Bunny, who is in and of herself
risque.
I
mean, Bugs Bunny in a dress, risque.
Oh yeah.
Though to be fair, he was doing that forever.
For a really long time.
Way before it was socially acceptable.
Way before. An iconic queer character.
Yeah. But yeah, who is it? Jenna Elfman? I don't think I've ever seen her in anything else.
Let me see.
Oh, Timothy Dalton's in this? Huh. They've worked together before. He's Chief.
Oh, that's cute.
I think he's the bad guy in this movie, though.
Oh, what if they're friends and that's why Brendan Fraser was like, yeah, I'll do Doom Patrol? Even though he was like not in Hollywood for a long time.
Yeah, I've never seen this woman before and anything else. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything else.
She looks familiar to me. Oh yeah, she was in a bunch of stuff in the 90s and 2000s.
I don't remember.
As like hot blonde chick.
Sure. But so this movie is a movie that exists in a world where Looney Tunes and real people exist together, which is weird because there's a scene where Matthew Lillard is talking to Shaggy and Scooby, the cartoons, about his portrayal of Shaggy in the live action movie, which doesn't make any sense because if Shaggy and Scooby actually exist, why did they go, hey, we know you're real, and even though you're a cartoon in real life, but you're real, we're going to make another movie and somebody else is going to play you. It's wild. Also, Scooby threatens to eat him. Yeah, Scooby-Doo threatens Matthew Lillard.
I need you all to know that, like, I truly do not know enough about Scooby-Doo to even fully be following what's happening.
Well, Scooby-Doo is usually a scaredy cat.
Right.
And doesn't threaten to murder someone.
Right. That's a little bit uncharacteristic.
A little bit.
From what I know, which is, I mean, I watched the live action movie because that film is incredible.
It's so good. For all the wrong reasons, but
right,
it's so good.
It's so good because
it's also very clear. I think didn't James Gunn direct it? I think he did.
I think so.
And
that makes a lot of sense.
It seems that the thing is, from what I've heard, I have my phone right here. From what I've heard is that he wanted to do a grown-up version of Scooby-Doo, more like akin to a PG-13 thing, which is why the scene where Scooby and Shaggy are in the van and it's all smoked out, and then it cuts to them just eating food. It's like there's probably supposed to be a scene where they're getting like hotboxing the shit out of that van.
Right.
But let's see. American live action. Well, I need to know who the director is.
Who's the director?
Oh, it's written by James Gunn. Directed by Raha Gosnell. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm going to be honest. Idea. But yeah, so written by James Gunn. That makes so much more sense to why there's so many like euphemisms in there.
It's a very sexual film.
Well, that and also the whole...
It's a lot of dirty jokes.
Yeah, the scene... the scene that people point to easily the most is when Shaggy meets Mary Jane on the plane and he's like, that's my favorite name.
It's incredible.
I mean, it's
cinema.
It's on the nose at the very least. But the funny thing about Looney Tunes Back in Action, we're going back again to that movie.
Which sounds incredible. We need to see it.
Also, Brendan Fraser's dad is a spy. So actually, Timothy Dalton might be his dad in that movie.
That's so cute.
I don't remember.
Let me tell you, back in the day, Brendan Fraser could get it.
Yeah.
He was fine.
All right, Beth, you're gonna sidetrack again.
I am, but we need to pause and remember George of the Jungle for just a second.
Look, yeah, and the Mummy.
And the Mummy? Ooh, okay, you can go.
Okay. You're ridiculous.
You can't even bring up Brendan Fraser. Young Brendan Fraser really did it for me.
Well,
it was like him and Lucy Lawless. I'm like, I was just gay as hell. Like, I had no idea.
But so the funny thing is like everybody tells him, like Brendan Fraser, that his dad is a spy. And he's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. I've known him my whole life. I don't know you. So, which makes sense in the context of everything. Right. But also as an audience member, you're like, no, your dad's a spy.
Right.
You want him to know.
Right.
Also, you're working with Bugs Bunny. What's happening?
Incredible.
But the scene with Matthew Lillard talking to Shaggy, I'm wondering, is he also voicing Shaggy? Because
probably.
That's weird.
It's kind of awesome.
But yeah.
We'll have to loop back on that at another time.
Though it makes me wonder when they filmed that scene, if it was like a reshoot or something, because the Scooby-Doo movie came out in 2002. Looney Tunes Back in Action came out in 2003. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, when did they have time to film this scene where Matthew Lillard was talking to Shaggy and Scooby?
I have no idea.
Like,
that feels like something to investigate.
There's no way that they were like, oh, Scooby-Doo was a hit. Like they wouldn't.
Right.
There's no way they would have known.
Time. Yeah.
Unless maybe was there a sequel? Maybe if there was a sequel, it might have been in that one.
Oh, that's fair. This is a long pause. I feel like I should be saying something.
I mean, you could say whatever you want.
What? I don't. I don't know.
You could say whatever.
You gotta give me something to go on. I don't. Oh, I could.
My nose hurts.
What?
My nose hurts. I fucked up when I tried to say itches, okay? So I just rolled.
My nose arches.
My nose arches.
That's when the country boy really just flies right out of you.
I guess.
That's the morning
There's a
spent
video
hunting
game?
with Dad. But
I did that a couple times and stopped because I couldn't feel my toes. It's cold in the morning. Especially in the winter when it's
cold
deer
in
season.
the morning. Especially in deer season.
It's cold in the morning when you gotta go hunt deer. Your long johns don't fit your
cousins
feet.
to bring with me?
Well, I did, but they didn't like hunting.
That they're not for hunting. It's the rules.
They're not for hunting.
They're not for hunting.
They're not for hunting. The little deer story.
Incredible.
I don't see anything.
I found out that one of my students' birthdays is the day before mine.
Nice.
And I was like, so you're a Scorpio?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, yes, I am. And I was like, we get a bad rep. And she was like, right? Incredible. And then her friend was like, I'm a Taurus. I was like, girl, I know. I didn't know. That was me being
I don't know that there was a sequel to this. I'm not seeing anything.
Okay.
This is weird because I've never thought to look this up again. Also, it looks like Steve Martin was actually the villain.
Okay.
So I think Timothy Dalton was actually his dad. It is his dad because his Timothy Dalton's character is Damian Drake and Brendan Fraser is DJ Drake.
Right. Okay.
So yeah,
that makes sense.
Also, now I'm pretty sure Timothy Dalton was a James Bond, so him being a spy is a wink
a
that I didn't understand as a kid.
Childhood.
Bill Goldberg is in this movie, the wrestler. He's the one in The Longest Yard who's they call him the Hammer because his dick's so big.
That guy's hilarious. The Longest Yard, y'all, is still a hilarious film.
Yeah, it's not as problematic as you thought it would be.
I just assumed. I mean, come on. It's Adam Sandler. So.
Oh, wait, yeah, Matthew Lillard as himself. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Adam Sandler is in that film. So already, there's going to be some at least very, very weird shit happening, but probably deeply problematic. And then, it's literally a film about a guy playing football in prison. There's nothing that could possibly be unproblematic about that. And then you watch it, it actually is, kind of okay.
Hmm.
So then I was like, wow.
It's the period where, what's her name? From Friends? The brunette? Not Rachel.
You mean Courtney Cox?
Yeah, that's Monica? When she had implants for, I don't know.
A good minute.
Was it a good minute? Because I thought it was a short minute.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I remember...
I hate everyone associated with Friends, so I can't.
Yeah. I just remember it being a thing. I was like... Because, I like toddies.
You like toddies.
I like big toddies, fake or real.
Right. Indiscriminate of type. Size is really the only concern.
I mean, I like them all, but I prefer big ones.
Right.
Come on, I'm a man of culture.
You're like, oh, I'm not that picky. Just give me all the titties.
I like the tots.
Yeah, the tots.
Tater or otherwise. Your face.
Help.
But yeah, no, I was like, huh. And then, because then she got the show. What's it called? Moms in Suburbia or whatever the fuck it was called. Momville? No.
Cougar Town.
Yeah. And then she didn't have them anymore. And I was like...
Oh. Well, there was a long period of time between...
Was there?
The two pieces of media you're talking about.
Oh, were there?
I think so, yeah.
Well, let's look it up.
No, we're not fact-checking anymore. We can just research it later. This is terrible pacing for a podcast.
It's too late. I've got it
You got to
open.
keep... People have already shut it off before... Okay, well...
Oh, you have way too little faith in the people that listen to this podcast.
Well, I certainly hope they listen to the whole thing, but when you have these long-ass pauses, I'm not going to fill them for you.
You think I'm just gonna leave long pauses?
I mean, you just did a second ago when you were fact checking the other thing. So.
There's a thing this magical thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's called editing. I can take long pauses and turn them into very, very short. You're gonna need to stop that. That'll make someone turn off the podcast.
Okay, well, we can fact check it at a later time.
Cougar Town came out in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Longest Yard. 2005. So it was 4 years.
That's 4 years. That's plenty of time to remove some implants.
Yeah, but...
And still have them for a good minute. She's famous. She's in things.
I don't remember anything she was in before. after.
do you closely follow Courtney Cox's filmography career?
Not anymore.
Like, she got them toddies removed and I was done.
It's done.
All day.
Well, that's not an all day thing. This is a no day thing.
No day.
No more. I'm done. Stop. Stop. Get some help.
Fuck them kids.
Michael Jordan said so.
I love children. I do. I'm a teacher. I love children.
You teach 18-year-olds.
Yeah, but they're the oldest kids I've ever taught. I mean, I've taught younger people, younger humans. And, I love them, but also
fuck them kids.
That's what I had coffee with the person getting a PhD in education. And we were talking, and I was like, yeah, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I love my students. They're all great. I mean, even when they're assholes. Like, I even love the assholes. She was like...
Well, yeah, one of the things I heard growing up was, oh, yeah, I love all of my students. Some when they're coming in, some when they're leaving. But I love them all.
No, honestly, it's the ones who, like, know that they're kind of being a cheeky little asshole.
Yeah.
That I truly love. Because I'm like, you know what? You're self-aware. You don't take your shit too seriously. You're just more fun to be around. But granted, I really do love literally all of my students. I refer to them as my chicken nuggets. I love them very much. I got you that sloth.
It's true, you did. He's going to be there now.
Oh, he's so cute.
I didn't think he was going to stay as well as he was.
Yeah, but he's
they have trouble staying on stuff.
They are useless creatures, and I love everything about them.
They're really bad at surviving.
It is me. I am the sloth.
How old are you? You're about to turn 28?
Yep, in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
Mold.
Look at, you're still here. You did it.
I mean, sometimes sloths live for a while. That doesn't mean they're good at living. It just means that they've been lucky enough to not get eaten when they fall off of shit.
Well, I mean, doesn't the fall usually kill them? I'm confused.
I mean, it depends on how high
Let's
they
look
got.
it up.
I'm refusing. I'm going to quit the podcast if you have to fact check literally everything. You can have your own mini episode after every episode wherein you fact check everything.
I'm gonna
conversations.
Are you trying to tell me I should make my own after show called "Let's Fact"?
Fact checking, fact polishing.
God, there's got to be a good thing for it. Because seriously, there's Talking Dead for The Walking Dead. What would this be? Because there's a polishing podcast, talking polishing.
Okay, yeah, that could work.
I just don't know if I want it.
Thrilled by it.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing.
Work.
It didn't
submit
some ideas.
Some ideas for the after show.
For my after
Patreon
show.
Patreon exclusive. It has to be a Patreon exclusive. So at this point, I would be the only one who would get it.
Well, that's not true. There's 3 other people.
You put it up on a higher tier, though.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
So I would be the only one who gets it, which is fine because that would satisfy your need to fact check things.
Oh my God.
You'd be like, well,
I'm not going to make my own after show. One
person knows I'm right, so
I'm not doing that.
You just want me to know that you're right.
I don't. What do we? What?
You got so
Let's look it up. Let's look up whether I learned about. I'm right.
You just open up your own chest and look, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah, this is accurate.
I'm in.
To your own body.
Yeah, just hacked it in.
That's biohacking. That is.
Oh God! Don't get started on biohacking. That shit ain't real yet.
Well, no, but
as soon as you can tell me I can grow spikes, then I'll believe it.
Why would you?
Before that,
Any other kind of superpower, not interested. Until you
but
can
growing
grow
spikes?
No,
it doesn't even have to be superpower related. I'm talking curing diseases, cancers. No.
I would also say that in some ways those could be superpowers.
No.
Okay.
Growing spikes.
Growing spikes. It's the only one we want in this household. Growing spikes.
We want you to grow spikes and never sniff feet.
Never. Those are really the only rules to our home.
But yeah. God. Let's look it up.
No.
Actually, that's actually the name of the
I'm going to say that
show.
in the middle of sex at some point in the near future. You'll be like, well, would you want
can
this?
we not? I'm going to have to edit that out.
Why?
Because that's too personal and gross for some people.
I think some people would find that really funny.
Look, they already know we're married.
Right.
They know we're doing it. We don't have to shove it in their face.
Know? Not all married people are doing it. Isn't that the joke that married people aren't doing it?
I mean, if you're stupid.
Or you just don't want to have sex with your partner. I mean, maybe there's something going on, or maybe you're just not into that.
It's because you're stupid. Fine, I won't edit it.
I will not condone that.
Let's look it up.
No,
That's the talk. That's the after show, though.
I'm gonna divorce him. The after show is him crying because he's been divorced. He just smiled and looked at me with all this love in his eyes. Seriously, he loved me so much in that moment, and I really cannot explain that to you. I am insufferable, and you just looked at me like, huh. And I was like, what?
I'm just gonna edit in like the grossest sobbing noises into that part.
That's incredible. I'm excited. Could you give us a sample? Do you have any gross sobbing?
Oh, it's not gonna be mine.
Oh, but like
I'm gonna get stock sobbing noises.
Stock sobbing noises. Or insert like a clip, a montage of a bunch of like Riverdale crying scenes.
Well, it's not gonna be Riverdale. I'm not gonna go out of my way to look up Riverdale stuff.
Today's episode sponsored by Riverdale.
I would take that money.
So, is it really that bad of a show? No, it's not. It's an incredible show.
No, it's that bad of a show. I would just take the money and then say it's not that bad of a show because I'm obligated to via contract.
So you have no principles.
No.
You're like, no, I am a whore for money. Give me the money.
Look, look, guys, I'm gonna be real with you real quick. If at any point in time you go, is Nico a shill? Yes. I am a shill. I will take money.
Yeah, he will.
I mean, I don't know. If they offered to pay me, I'd have to think about it. It really depends.
It's Riverdale.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like, I've got a limit.
And Riverdale could be over that limit?
No, well, I'm saying like if they didn't pay me enough, then yeah, I'd be like, oh no, fuck off. Like I don't like your show.
Well, I mean, they should pay you well. They're making a lot of money.
Well, yeah, they should, but it's not how capitalism works.
You're correct.
It's how it's supposed to work. It's not how it works.
No, that's not how it's supposed to work. Hoarding money is actually part of capitalism.
Well, then that's wrong.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome to How Capitalism is Wrong. New segment of Polish Podcast where we depress you really easily.
This episode also sponsored by Karl Marx.
This episode sponsored by capitalism. It's bad.
It's fine. Capitalism. It's not great. Oh, capitalism. Thanks. I hate it. Yeah.
You got there. High five.
I'm proud of us.
That was not a great high five. There we go.
Much better. Whew. Wow, we really did that.
Yeah.
More of that to come. You don't invite me on a podcast and not talk about capitalism. So,
I mean,
sorry, not sorry.
I can. It'd be really easy for me to not talk about capitalism with you.
But I will. I'll bring it up.
You do know that I still have final say on what makes it into this, right?
Nope. The people want the direct, unfiltered content.
I mean, that's what I've been doing recently.
Right.
When I was doing the podcast with Trent, it was unfiltered completely, except for the couple times where he said some things that didn't make it in, but we don't need to talk about that.
I mean, you're the one bringing it up, so.
We don't need to talk about it, Beb.
Okay. I'm not talking about it.
I don't know why you brought it up.
I didn't.
I can't believe you did that.
Wow. Divorce.
We've been divorced about 72 times at this point.
Yeah, definitely. We're easily.
Charmander, what do you have to say?
He brought all these little toys out. What am I supposed to do? But you're bringing up the three things
He's talking, man.
in the
Let
world that I hate, which is SpongeBob, Scooby-Doo, and Pokemon.
You hate Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
Why?
It is not funny.
It's not.
It's horrifying and weird. And
I've never thought it was meant to be funny.
You never thought Scooby-Doo was meant to be funny?
I didn't find it funny as a kid.
Why would you watch it then? It's literally
it was
a children's
on.
Show. I'm out of beer.
Look, I never said I liked
dispossessed of
the
alcohol.
Scooby-Doo movie. I liked, but the Scooby-Doo show I only ever watched because I was like, well, there's nothing fucking else on.
You're just gonna make me sound like a jerk. I'm gonna be on this.
Charmander, what do you think?
I hate everything. I hate everything. I hate everything.
Let him speak, Beb.
He can't speak. He's a toy.
He's talking.
He's a toy imaginary creature.
Thank you, Charmander.
Damn it. Charmander and I can't be on the show at the same time.
Well, he lives in the room, so
Yeah.
you got to figure it out.
Well.
Look him in the eyes and tell him.
Bruh.
Also, you think I'm not gonna because the Pokemon show has Charmander talk in it.
Oh.
Though the Pokemon show, they just say their names because that's all they can say.
Right.
You think I'm not gonna edit that in?
Oh yeah. No, I knew it as I was saying it.
Mm-hmm. It's really easy to find those clips of him just going,
this.
or a Charmander just going, Charmander.
I regret this, but it's fine.
What do you regret, Bob?
I regret allowing Charmander to be a co-host.
Charmander's not a co-host. He just lives in the room.
Okay, I regret allowing Charmander to live in the room.
Well, I bought it, so it's fine.
You made me say it. I didn't want to make Charmander homeless, but he is now. I didn't want to do this.
Look into his eyes.
You have no home.
You just look straight at it when you have no home.
It's true.
Heartless. The cutest Pokemon.
You're gonna wake up in the morning and I'm gonna have hidden him somewhere.
Don't do that. It's my favorite Pokemon.
I'll send you pictures of him all over the city.
Don't.
Don't. He'll be like, Charmander, run into the street in the rain, put up posters, lost Charmander. Meanwhile, I'll just be putting him in various places around the city.
He's very small.
Very small.
It's like what, maybe 2 inches tall?
Maybe. Got a big old head, poor kid.
Yeah, Funko Pops.
That's.
They got big heads. I don't. Yeah. The only ones I like anymore are the ones that aren't supposed to look human. Like Groot.
Yeah, Groot looks adorable with a big old head.
Is Groot over there or are they out there? I think Groot's down there.
Mellow Groot.
Your baby Groot.
Baby Groot. He's so cute.
Yeah, so.
I am Groot.
Yeah.
I am Groot. One of my students talked about that in class the other day.
What?
Like, I am Groot, the scene where he and Rocket
are they doing the bomb?
And it's with the bomb. And I don't even remember the fucking context. They were doing group work, and then they related this scene to some relatable.
I mean, it was group work.
Listen,
in the movie,
the Zoomers have an incredible sense of humor.
Are they? Is that a thing that's okay to call Gen Z?
Well, yeah, they're Zoomers. They're Gen Z.
Well, yeah,
so
but I thought Gen
Zoomers.
Z was calling them Zoomer was a bad thing.
Oh, I didn't think that. I think.
Let's look it up. She's turned completely away from the microphone.
Yep.
You gotta say that into the mic, Beb.
Yep.
There you go.
No, I think you can call them Zoomer. I mean, no disrespect. I love Gen Z.
I was gonna say I just don't know. I thought maybe somebody made it up to
no
be disrespectful towards Gen Z.
No, I've only ever heard people use it descriptively. They just call anyone in Gen Z
a Zoomer.
Zoomers.
Oh, okay.
They're hilarious. But they related it to something, and the one of them was I am Groot. And the other one was no, and they're I am Groot. But they weren't just quoting the scene for no reason. It had some context, and I was what is happening in my class right now?
It's probably because somebody didn't understand what to do, and even though somebody told them no, you got to do this, they went, so I do this, and they went, no, what?
It was something essay related. They were on task. I don't know. Another one used "Okay Boomer" properly in class.
To who? Or to whom, I guess.
We were talking about different kinds of teachers. I teach a class that has something to do with education. Sort of. It's education themed. And so we talk about teaching and education a lot. And so my students were just talking about some shitty teacher who's just a jerk and enjoys failing students or whatever. And we were pretending.
Jerks.
Talking as that teacher of oh yeah, you had a comma splice that's really just a typo, you ignorant fool, what, you ignorant slut, stupid shit. We were just saying that. My student just goes, okay boomer, and I was fuck yes. I was you're incredible. My students are awesome.
They're good kids.
They're good nuggets. I like them a lot.
This is a good nugget.
They write really cool stuff. A lot of them want to go into education. I really hope they do because they're really nice and smart and they will help people.
Well, you didn't want pets. You walked away. See? I don't know what's going on with her.
She's being weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have the best students in the whole wide world. And if you think yours are better than mine, you're incorrect.
Let's look it up.
Fight me.
Let's look it up.
No.
Just look up if you have the
It's
best
getting
students.
less funny the more you bring it up.
You think it's getting less funny. I'm liking it more.
I see now why you don't. I don't know where I was going with that. I was really trying to.
Yeah, are you sure? Or are you going to say something mean that you didn't want to say?
No, I genuinely just. I started with confidence like I had some shit, but I did not.
Hey,
so.
Beb. Hey, Beb.
Hey.
You want to look it up?
No, I don't. You know, I look things up for a living. I literally research for a living.
Do you anymore?
I mean, yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
I thought you stopped that part.
No. I still like do that all the time.
We'll stop.
No, it's my job.
All right. Well, if it's your job.
It's our job.
Okay.
What am I going to do? It's my job.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
All right. I don't know.
Don't you say it again.
There's no context for
We
it
are
this
going to
time.
get divorced. I'm going to go, Your Honor. Your Honor. He kept saying, let's look it up. And the judge will be like, he said what? And I'll be like, he kept saying, let's look it up.
Look, I'm only gonna say it to things that we can actually look up. I'm not gonna say it.
Most of the things you've said it to, we cannot look up.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
See, you like it, don't you?
No, I don't. I just want to turn it against you so you hate it.
I'm not gonna hate it. But yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about, prepared wise at least.
Oh, okay.
Do you got anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing specifically.
Okay.
I'm excited because I got Disney Plus today, so there will be more to chat about soon.
Okay.
As I dive deep into a nostalgia hole.
Nostalgia hole.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite. I don't got anything.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna tread carefully on that one.
There's gonna be a song. I just don't know who would write that song. Maybe Radiohead.
Sure.
Nostalgia Hole is my favorite Radiohead song.
That's a good one, actually. That sounds right.
Yeah, right?
And there's got to be at least one really good cover of it.
Nostalgia Hole.
Sing it. Keep going.
Nostalgia Hole.
That's not what the lead singer of Radiohead sounds like. I don't understand.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's exactly what it sounds like.
But then there would be a cover. There'd be lots of covers of it because there's a million covers of every Radiohead song. Could you cover it as the lead singer of Creed?
No, I don't know.
Nostalgia hole.
Jesus Christ.
That's incredible. I'm so proud of that.
You're so oh my God.
I'm really proud of that one. You're all welcome.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I guess is that it?
I think this is going to be an episode, yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah. And from what I've listened to it did sound good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to listen to it myself. It'll probably seem weird me just listening to my own voice a lot, but it's fine.
It happens. You get used to it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Very
thanks
cool.
for having me on.
Well, you can't say that as the co-host anymore.
No, but I'm saying as an official co-host.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thanks for.
You're welcome.
This is cool.
This is your $15 tier
Privilege.
treat. Yeah, because you never told me to give you what your special thank you was.
I don't know. We're married. If I want a special thank you, I'll just get a special thank you. I don't need.
Well, now you're a co-host, so there you go. Special
Okay,
thank you.
Sounds good.
That doesn't go for anyone else.
He's like, to be clear, I cannot be married to all of you. So.
No, to be clear,
He wants to be, but he can't.
No, that's not it either. Stop that. You look like you got something in your eye when you do it that way.
Maybe I do.
Well, yeah, contacts, but
Yeah, I do. They're literally adhered to my eyeballs.
nobody else gets to subscribe to the $15 tier on Patreon and also be a co-host. That's how you end up with too many co-hosts.
Too many co-hosts.
It's like, look, guys, if we can't get it together, the 8 of us can't be on the podcast.
I'm sure there's a podcast out there with 8 co-hosts.
That's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably garbage, but...
Once you get to 3 people, it starts to get after 3, it gets to where people talk over each other.
Mm-hmm.
4 people is too much. In my opinion. Because it's not going to be balanced ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, a podcast should, if you're going to do 4, it's probably going to not turn out that great, honestly.
Okay.
It's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, because it becomes less of a conversation and more of a,
like a shouting match.
Well, yeah, because you try to figure out where you can jump in. Mm-hmm. It's like a mosh pit where you're like...
Is that what a mosh pit is like?
Well, you got to figure out when you can get in the pit, yeah? If it started and you're like, oh, I want to get in there, you got to like try to get in.
Can you show it to me one more time? Man, you really got to see this video.
You guys are missing out.
You're missing out on Nico dancing. How often
the audio podcast listeners are missing out.
Missing?
Yeah, because they're listening, but they're missing. You walked into that one.
I'm so upset.
Slam a fucking dunk.
Help.
But yeah, that's going to be this episode of the podcast.
Cool.
If you are wanting to join the Patreon, see the video podcast, $5.
Can see me in my sexy onesie.
It's what I would call lumberjack chic.
Ooh, it is lumberjack chic.
It's flannel.
It's flannel.
Yeah.
It's flannel.
It's not made of flannel. It just has a flannel pattern.
Yeah.
It's micromodal.
It's so comfortable. Shout out to MeUndies.
Not a sponsor.
Sponsor us, MeUndies, because now.
I mean, if we get enough listeners, they will.
And you know what? I'm excited for that day because these onesies are incredible.
Yeah.
And I love them. So.
Yeah, they're great. I'm not wearing mine because I didn't want to. And honestly, if I was wearing it, I'd probably be sweating. This room's a little warm right now. It's multiple bodies.
We got matching onesies.
We do.
Because we're awesome and married as fuck.
Yeah. Married AF, as the kids say.
Math.
I don't think they'd say that, though.
Well, I said it, so the kids don't have to.
That's fair. That's usually how adulthood works.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, we're not going to say that ever.
Yeah.
They do that.
But yeah.
We did it.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right. This is the Polish Podcast. Want to watch the video? Sign up for that Patreon $5 tier. I'm probably going to do a highlight thing and upload it on YouTube just so people can see the funny bits.
Cool.
Or some of the funny bits. Maybe like, I don't know. The inspiration I'm pulling from is Mike Falzone and his wife's podcast. Welcome to our podcast.
Adorable.
And they usually upload like one section of it that's like about 3 to 5. Depends on what the topic they were talking about. 15 minutes. It just really depends on what they were talking about. Upload that and then are like, hey, if you want the rest of the podcast on video form, sign up to the Patreon. That's the end of the podcast. If you want to see the video, make sure to subscribe to the $5 tier. As this is the end, I also am going to shout out a couple of the listeners, T-Rex, Cert, and Nathaniel. Thank you so much for pledging your $5. You guys are great. If you're a regular listener, I obviously appreciate you as well. Just got to give those guys a little shout out because they're going above and beyond. Yeah. If you are interested in anything I do, Twitch TV /Nico All Powerful, NICCO ALLPOWERFUL. How do I do that so well? And I flubbed up the Patreon
I don't
plug.
know, but that was kind of incredible. Just watching you, that all rolled off your tongue. You were so confident.
I don't know. Anyway, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time every day. Pretty sure every day. I don't have any plans to not do it on the weekend because that seems silly.
You should take some days off. We'll see.
I mean, depends on how I feel, I guess.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, then when I ever get a part-time job, then those days will obviously we take off because I'll probably work in the morning. Well, I mean, maybe not. Who knows? Yeah. That's semantics. Also, stream at night from 5 to like 9, probably around something like that. Twitter.com/Nico Powerful, NICCOPOWERFUL. YouTube.com/Nico R Powerful, same as Twitch. If you want to see the little snippet of the video podcast before jumping into the Patreon, they'll watch the whole thing. And if you want to hear the podcast early, patreon.com/polishing podcast. Or is it or just polishing? The Polishing Podcast. Okay. Whoops, I've been saying just Polishing Podcast. I hope you guys haven't happened upon something weird because of that. If you did, well, you should know pretty quickly that it's not my thing. And then, yeah, I think that's it for all my plugs. Rate and review on iTunes helps the podcast out. That good stuff. 5 stars, all that.
I think that's it.
I know, but I mean, do you not want anybody to follow you on Twitter or anything?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have a Twitter account where I rant about like politics and then talk about how great my students are. And it's at Allie Mac, yeah, ALIMACYEAH.
There you go.
Sparkle Paws currently. That's
me.
So,
okay.
yeah, come talk to me about teaching and right now a lot of things about Bolivia. That's what I got for
Bolivia.
Bolivia. Actually, it should be really serious. People are dying.
Well, I mean, I just said it.
It is a great name for a nation, though. That's great.
But yeah, that's the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you in the next one.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.